wonderful morning this day. My name is Anthony, and of course, as we wind down some of our top stories, we were talking about the oil and gas sector. Now, the oil price inflation has not only affected you, the car driver, or someone who drives a border, but also African Airlines, as they stare at a $4 billion US dollar loss due to costly fuel. Now, African Airlines are expected to record up to 4.1 billion US dollar loss this year on the back of expensive fuel that is eroding the that expensive jet fuel expenses involved in running the airlines will weigh down on the profits. Kenya Airlines alone have had to adjust their fare upward because of a sharp rise in the cost of fuel, which is a significant portion of the expenses involved in running the aircraft. The cost of fuel has hit a high of 148 Kenyan shillings. That's about 1.25 US dollars a liter, from 100 Kenyan shillings. That's about 0.85 US dollars in January, piling pressures on the airlines at a time when the demand for flying has remained low, as the industry still recovers from the effects of COVID-19. Now, full year revenue loss of African Airlines or for the year 2022 is estimated at 4.1 billion, equivalent to 23.4% of the 2019 revenues, according to the African Association for Airlines. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, had earlier warned that rising jet fuel prices were likely to cause airfares to increase this year as airlines grapple with the high operating costs. He says that we have adjusted the fares because of expensive fuel that has increased the operation costs, according to Jumbo Jet Chief Executive Karanja. Mr. Karanja also, however, said the prices would be reviewed downwards in the coming days depending on the cost of fuel. Safari Link Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Alex Avedi, said the high cost of fuel has been passed on to the costs of the ticket, making them pricier. There has been a significant rise in the cost of fuel since January, and this has had an effect on the cost of the tickets, according to Mr. Avedi. The projected loss for this year, however, is lower than that that was recorded last year. That the aviation industry is recovering from massive losses witnessed in the last 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic disruptions in the sector. In 2021, the African Airlines cumulatively lost 8.6 billion US dollars in revenue due to the impact of the pandemic, representing about 49% of 2019 earnings. The intra-African passenger traffic recovery was estimated at 74% in May due to the ease of anti-COVID-19 restrictions in African countries, and a total of 27 states in the continent have eased travel restrictions by removing the requirement for testing on fully vaccinated peoples. That is, of course, a story that is definitely looking into the prices of fuel affecting African Airlines most, as of course they recover from the losses made during the pandemic, and now they are being hit by the fuel price, crazy inflation around the fuel prices that has seen the price of tickets as well go up. And definitely travel has become more expensive, not only by road, but by air as well now. as definitely these companies try to cope up with the rising prices of fuel. All these we can actually chat more on our website. That's at www.smart24.com, and you can leave us a comment on what you think the airlines also can do to curb this, and also what government can do. Should we issue subsidies, or they're unsustainable like we've seen in Tanzania, to keep the prices of fuel as affordable as possible as well. Now moving to Somalia. Somalia licenses the first two banks, foreign banks, since 1970. That's a story we are looking into here, that the Central Bank of Somalia has licensed the first two foreign banks since the year 1970. The Central Bank of Somalia has licensed these first two banks that, of course, according to Central Bank Governor Abdirahman Mohammed Abdallahi, who said that Egypt's Basir and Turkey's Ziraat can now operate in the country after the board endorsed their applications. The Central Bank's board concluded that the two banks have fulfilled all the bank licensing requirements of the Central Bank of Somalia, and their applications have been approved. After an extensive process, they are happy that the board has actually approved these applications of Ziraat Katlim Bank and the Bank Sir, and they are both solid banks that will add value to the development of Somalia's financial sector and contribute to the growth of the entire economy as a whole, he added. And in 1960s, the foreign commercial banks that operated in Somalia included Italy's Banco di Napoli and Banco di Roma, and Egypt's Bank de Port Said, and UK's National Greenlees Bank. But when the Supreme Revolutionary Council overthrew the civilian government in October 1969, all foreign banks in Somalia were nationalized under the order of the SRC, the Supreme Revolutionary Council. The junta then formed the Commercial Somali and Savings Bank, which, using assets of the nationalized lenders in 1972, that operated until its collapse in 1988. So far, the Central Bank of Somalia has licensed a total of 13 locally owned commercial banks, among them being Salam Somali Bank and Dahabish Commercial Bank as well. The business people have welcomed the move, saying that the new banks make it easy to access capital for huge projects. And of course, one of the people here called Mr. Abdullahi Nur Guled, who is a Somali Tanzanian businessman, talking to a newspaper in Somalia, said that the Somali is a rich in business country, and tapping them and innovative people need capital and financial injections that large banks can afford. He also added that the people who take their deposits to lenders outside the country can now bank locally, and said that there is no society that can develop, create jobs, and fight poverty without banks that can invest in businesses, government services, and projects. That is definitely another story they're watching out for. Somalia's, opening its doors to the two big banks there from Egypt and also from Turkey, and we'll be seeing what happens in terms of service delivery and looking into the commercial progress of the nation as Somalia, which has suffered quite a lot from wars and other infrastructural impediments that have seen the country's slow development, and definitely those bureaucratic democracy policies that have not actually been in favor of the growth of business within the Somalia country, and definitely this will be a big move towards changing that history and seeing a little bit of growth in the market. Moving away from that, we are going to go into the cryptocurrency world, looking at the cryptocurrencies and how they have fared. Now, definitely after immense losses, about 2 weeks ago, quite a number of millionaires who have actually invested in the Bitcoin have, of course, been witnessing hefty losses. Looking at some of the prices here of cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin trading at $20,500 has inched up by 1.78%. That is data, of course, from the CoinDesk, and that is our data that we are seeing there. We're seeing 20,000. Then down to Ethereum. Ethereum has seen appreciation 3.75%, and that is 1,184.36 United States dollars. The Binance coin has seen a 1.04% inch up and to about a price of $237. And then the XRP at 0.3662 at 1.92%. Increase. Then crypto.com at 0.61%. It has gone up to 0.11899 US dollars. Then Stellar, another cryptocurrency at 0.110 has gone up by 1.34%. And these and more coins, of course, have seen. We are in greater bit, and this, of course, is something that the crypto enthusiasts are looking at to be one of the moves that are seeing the coins to go. Now the Bitcoin holds above 20,000 and either climbed last Ether, that is also climbed last Wednesday. Now, inaccurate data led investors to believe that crypto exchange KuCoin's holdings were smaller than expected, according to the CEO right there. The Bitcoin of the 20,000 for a third consecutive day today, and that is the largest cryptocurrency. Bitcoin by market capitalization was recently trading at about 20,600 US dollars, up better than a percentage point. And of course, Bitcoin had plunged below the psychologically important barrier last for a late weekend rally. And of course, many analysts have adopted a clear-eyed view of the current crypto climate that has suffered the dual body blows of protocol fiascos and macroeconomic uncertainty. They do not see prices rising anytime soon, barring an unexpected for the better in the ongoing battle with inflation. And definitely, Mr. David Nudge, the portfolio manager for asset management firm Aker on CoinDesk, he said that there's carnage out there, and of course they are seeing Celsius, you're also seeing Voyager, you're also looking at BlockFi, and of course seeing a number of different headlines coming over the last few months. Yet, of course, nudge positively the Bitcoin's ability much of the past month to remain in its current 18,000 to 20,000 range, and says that Bitcoin has held steady around this trading pattern, according to him, and say that they talk about digital assets as a duration of things that are going to happen and change with society and our economic systems. Bitcoin is definitely part of that. Ethereum, on the other hand, the second largest crypto by market capitalization, was recently trading at roughly 1,190 US dollars, up more than 5%. Other major cryptos also traded significantly, slightly higher than the STORJ, rising at nearly 6% at one point, and RUNE climbing more than 5%. Of course, troubled crypto lenders, CAL token dropped over 8%. The equity markets also rose slightly. Now, cryptos tracked major equity markets as they have done far more frequently than in the recent months, with the tech-focused Nasdaq, S&P 500, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average all up, albeit ever so slightly. And investors who have been concerned about the United States central bank's efforts to tame inflation may have drawn some encouragement from the release of minutes of the Federal Reserve's June meeting, indicating a firm commitment to its current hawkish monetary policy. The United States Labor Department figures released Wednesday morning show the strong hiring in May and a sign that the economy has not yet actually been cooling sufficiently to stem inflationary pressures. The crypto industry news centered on the Voyager's digital Chapter 11, the bankruptcy filing Tuesday, which will allow the firm to reorganize with the intent of paying back at least some of the creditors. And of course, Voyager Digital, followed by just a few days bankruptcy, did not see that change a lot. And definitely we are seeing that on the United States market. The cryptocurrencies have been almost working with the equity markets closely to see that they actually don't see a recession in the United States. And of course, Akers Nage also noted optimistically that some normalization, some healthy markets here in recent funding for digital assets projects been witnessed. And if you want to call it a crypto winter, whatever you want to call it, if we look at the venture and private side, what we are seeing is really healthy activity in the private markets. He also added regarding the broader outlook for the industry that they continue to get a few more of these shorts to the solar plexus sentiment, which will probably reach its lowest peak and then will probably rebound, but it's going to be a very, very long time. And from private markets perspective, they're telling their founders really to be prepared for more than 2 years, that is 36 months, to be specific. That is definitely insight in from the cryptocurrency world. You can catch more of that on our website at www.smart24.com on what the coins are doing, which coins are on, which coins are going up, and which coins are coming down, and how that is influencing the market. Looking at the features here on the United States market, the S&P 500 index is at 3,845 points and has gone up by 0.3%. The Dow Jones index has also gone up by 0.2% at 31,037 points. Then the Nasdaq, of course, for the tech companies, the Nasdaq index has also inched up by 0.3% to 11,361 US dollars. The price of gold has also gone up 1.44, was gone down actually 1.4, and currently at 1,709 points. Thank you very much for remaining with us till right now. We are Financial Markets. Remember, you can follow us on at Smart24, but the hashtag is #Financial Markets. My name is Anthony Sebale, and I'm hoping to catch you tomorrow. That is Friday, the 8th of July, and definitely we will be giving insights into the financial market space. For now, goodbye and have a good day.